In the shimmering late-morning heat, a German F126 frigate prowls the turquoise waters of the Gulf of Aden off the coast of Somalia on the hunt for pirates as part of the European Union's Operation Atalanta. The vigilant crew of the biggest surface warship to join the German Navy since World War II carefully scans the horizon for any signs of trouble, all too aware that this turbulent stretch of sea is crawling with modern-day buccaneers. As the sun climbs higher, the ship's lookout suddenly spots a suspicious skiff darting between merchant vessels, her occupants masked, armed, and clearly up to no good. This dangerous gang of seaborne delinquents must be stopped before an innocent ship falls victim to a violent hijacking. Fortunately, the F126 is on the case. The roar of the 545-foot-long frigate's engines is soon joined by the whirring blades of a pair of NH90 Naval Frigate Helicopters, slicing through the salty air as they lift off from the deck, where an expert team hurriedly prepares the Rigid Hull Inflatable Boats, gearing up for a boarding operation. Using her state-of-the-art Hensoldt TRS-4D NR multifunction surveillance radar, the F-126 tracks the pirates' every move, the helicopters hovering above like dragonflies, while the inflatable boats race toward their target. Panic fills their eyes as they realize they've been detected, and the skiff's crew attempts a desperate getaway, but the EU forces are rapidly closing in. As the chase intensifies, the two sides prepare for a fierce confrontation on the high seas. Planned for commission in 2028, the F-126, or Saarland class, is a powerful new frigate of the future, described by her manufacturers as the, quote, largest shipbuilding project in the history of the German Navy. As well as the first ship, Saarland, the class will eventually consist of Niedersachsen, Bremen, and Thuringen, succeeding the four frigates of the existing F-123 Brandenburg class. In 1994, the Brandenburg-class frigates became the first new vessels to be integrated into the Deutsche Marine, established just 4 years before in the wake of German reunification. As well as being the nation's principal anti-submarine warfare vessels, between them, they've served across a wide spectrum of naval operations, supporting the NATO bombing of Yugoslavia, playing a peacekeeping role with the United Nations Interior Force in Lebanon, assisting in evacuation missions in the Libyan Civil War, engaging in anti-piracy efforts with Operation Atalanta off the Horn of Africa, and rescuing migrants from shipwrecks and other dangerous situations in the Mediterranean, among other activities. However, despite the success of the Brandenburg class, it is now nearing the end of its life cycle. As naval warfare technology advances and different maritime threats emerge, the Deutsche Marine has deemed it strategically prudent to replace the aging frigates with a ship more capable of facing the challenges of the 21st century. A 5-year bidding war led to the contract for this new class of ships, originally known as the Metsweg-Kampfschiff, or Multipurpose Combat Ship 180, being awarded to the Dutch conglomerate Damen Group, together with subcontractors Thales and Blohm & Voss in January 2020, while construction will take place entirely in Germany. The Piena shipyard in Wolgast will provide steelwork and pre-assembly for the stern, while the foreship will be constructed in Kiel. There, it will be mated with the stern and then transported to the Blohm & Voss shipyards in Hamburg, where the frigates will be given their onboard systems before undergoing final outfitting, commissioning, and testing. With a displacement of nearly 11,630 tons, a length of 545 feet, and a height of 128 feet, the F-126 will be much bigger than the rest of the German fleet. It will even outsize certain ships of traditionally larger classes, such as the U.S. Navy's Flight II Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, which are 505 feet long and have a displacement of 8,637 tons. Despite her substantial dimensions, the F-126 will house a remarkably small standard complement of only 114. The Arleigh Burke-class destroyer requires almost 3 times the number of crew members. This is due to the German frigate's highly automated and low-maintenance design, requiring minimal manpower. However, her considerable size does give her space for up to 84 extra personnel, such as special forces, signals intelligence specialists, or additional crew, giving her great adaptability for a wide variety of missions. Powering this imposing vessel will be a state-of-the-art combined diesel and electric, or CODLAD, propulsion system, which blends 4 generator sets with 2 electric drive motors to provide her with an installed power of 32 megawatts, equivalent to 43,000 horsepower, achieving speeds over 26 knots. This dual propulsion system will allow her to effectively perform high-speed pursuits as well as efficient low-speed operations, a significant advancement over the singular propulsion systems of older frigates, such as those of the Brandenburg class. What's more, the F-126 will have the ability to traverse over 4,000 nautical miles at a cruising speed of 18 knots, as well as having a 21-day mission sustainability without resupply, meaning she'll be able to carry sufficient provisions, fuel, and other necessities to support the crew and mission requirements for up to 3 weeks at sea. This level of range and endurance will undoubtedly prove advantageous in remote or contested areas where logistical support might be limited or non-existent. It will also mean that she'll be able to arrive at farther flung locations without having to make a stop. For example, it will speed up the time taken to get to anti-piracy missions in the Horn of Africa. However, the F-126 is not only envisioned for operations in tropical waters. Her strengthened hull gives her an Ice 1CE1 ice classification, meaning she will also be adept at sailing in icy Arctic waters, which may prove useful in future potential resource conflicts in the region. A truly 21st century vessel, the F-126 will also boast a wide array of advanced sensor and processing systems. One of these is the Hensoldt TRS-4D NR multifunction surveillance radar, providing comprehensive surveillance by detecting, tracking, and classifying a wide array of targets, from aircraft and missiles to smaller surface threats, including fast-moving boats, and allowing for high-resolution imaging and rapid target acquisition, contributing to the ship's overall situational awareness. Another is the Thales X-band APAR Block 2 multifunction fire radar, specializing in fire control, meaning it can guide weapon systems to their targets with high precision. The APAR, or Active Phased Array Radar Block 2, is designed for tracking and engaging multiple targets simultaneously, enhancing the frigate's air defense and surface engagement capabilities. When the Atlas Electronics Anti-Submarine Warfare, or ASW module, is fitted, it will include a variable depth towed sonar that can be lowered to different depths below the surface, allowing it to operate below the thermocline, a layer in the ocean where temperature changes significantly with depth, and crucially, where sound propagation conditions are more favorable for detecting submarines. This enables the F-126 to detect and track underwater threats more effectively than surface-towed sonar systems, especially in challenging ocean conditions. In the armament department, the F-126 will pack a powerful punch. Her Königsberg naval strike missiles are designed to attack ships on the surface using sea-skimming flight to evade enemy radar, while her evolved Sea Sparrow missiles offer medium-range air defense by intercepting incoming aircraft and anti-ship missiles. Should these fail, her rapid-fire RIM-116 rolling airframe missile closing weapon system launchers will provide her with a last-ditch defense at short range against anti-ship missiles and aircraft that have penetrated outer defenses, automatically detecting, tracking, and engaging incoming threats. As if that weren't enough, she will also be armed with an Autobreda 127-64 naval gun with long-range and guided Volcano ammunition, allowing for precision strikes against targets not only at sea, but also on shore, meaning it will be able to support land operations from a distance. She will also boast advanced electronic warfare systems, which can detect signals from enemy radars, communications, and other electronic devices, providing early warning of potential threats. They can also jam enemy sensors and communications, rendering them ineffective by flooding them with noise or false information. In addition, she will be equipped with decoys that can mimic the electronic or radar signature of the ship, leading incoming missiles away from their actual target. By hiding from or confusing enemy sensors, the F-126 will be more difficult for adversaries to locate, track, or engage accurately, ensuring it can carry out its missions, even in the face of sophisticated threats. In order to extend her reach beyond her immediate vicinity, the F-126 will accommodate a range of smaller vehicles on board. She will have space for 2 NH90 Sea Tiger maritime helicopters, which can perform a wide range of missions, ranging from reconnaissance and search and rescue to anti-submarine and anti-surface warfare. She will also be able to house a Saab Skaldar unmanned aerial vehicle, or UAV, which can provide real-time intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance data, allowing the frigate to monitor activities and threats over a broad area without putting crew members at risk. She will also be able to carry at least 2 33-foot Rigid Hull Inflatable Boats, or RHIBs, with additional space for a third, depending on the mission. These can be quickly deployed for a variety of tasks, such as boarding operations, search and rescue, reconnaissance, and special forces insertion. Their speed and maneuverability make them ideal for situations that require a swift and agile response. They also allow the frigate to project its presence over a wider area without having to reposition the main vessel, which is particularly useful in littoral or congested maritime environments. As the constantly changing geopolitical map brings fresh challenges, The F-126's dominant size and use of cutting-edge technology will allow her to respond far more effectively than her predecessors. Whether foiling modern-day pirates, upholding freedom of navigation against potential aggressors, or assisting with humanitarian assistance and disaster relief missions, it is certain that she will have an important role to play in the Deutsche Marine's naval operations, boldly steering the course of international maritime security into a new era.